Growing a savings account is like planting a tree in that it takes patience, dedication, and time to achieve the desired results. Just like a tree needs to be watered and nourished regularly, so too does your savings account need regular deposits and disciplined spending in order to see it grow. It's important to be consistent with your deposits, just like it's important to be consistent with watering a tree, as this will ensure that your savings account will reach its full potential with the right combination of investment, care, and time. You can watch your savings account become as strong and sturdy as a tree. Nations use sovereign wealth funds like a savings account in order to store and manage funds for future use. The funds are typically made up of a nation's natural resources, such as oil and gas, and can be invested in a variety of ways. As a result, these funds provide nations with a source of reserve funds that can be used to finance projects, pay off debt, or even provide a cushion against economic downturns. Additionally, nations have the ability to use the funds to make strategic investments, such as in infrastructure or to ensure the stability of their currency. As such, sovereign wealth funds are an important tool for nations to ensure their economic stability and prosperity in the future. Saudi Arabia is one of the most powerful nations in the Middle East, and its investments have been far-reaching. From sports teams to tech companies, the country has been making investments into properties around the world. In this video essay, we will be exploring the potential human rights impacts of Saudi investments and analyzing some of their financial, cultural, and political impacts. Before we begin, if you don't mind, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. We are continuing to grow and all your support helps. Now, back to the story. The Public Investment Fund is headed by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who is often referred to as MBS, and he is seen as the most powerful man in the world. MBS has been credited with transforming the kingdom into a regional powerhouse, and the Public Investment Fund is the linchpin of his plans to modernize the country. One of the most controversial investments recently made by Saudi Arabia is the takeover of Newcastle United Football Club. The deal has sparked human rights concerns due to the kingdom's track record on human rights. In October 2018, the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi highlighted the kingdom's disregard for human rights and put a spotlight on the investments of its sovereign wealth fund, the Public Investment Fund. The Public Investment Fund is one of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world, and it has been making investments all over the world. Last year, the fund revealed its 13th filing, which showed that it had made investments in some of the world's largest companies, such as Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft. The fund has also made significant investments in the entertainment sector. In 2020, the fund announced a $500 million investment in Live Nation, the world's largest live entertainment company. In 2021, the fund made another $500 million investment, this time in a joint venture with Singapore's sovereign wealth fund, GICT Limited. This year, the fund also raised a $17 billion loan from international banks as part of its plans to expand its investments. The loan was the largest loan ever raised by a sovereign wealth fund, and it shows the financial strength of the Public Investment Fund. Saudi Arabia has been investing heavily in the sports and entertainment industries in recent years. In 2023, soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo signed a deal with Saudi Arabia's General Sports Authority to promote soccer in the country. The deal sparked criticism due to the kingdom's human rights record and its treatment of women in the sport. Saudi investors have also been making investments in the video game industry. In 2021, Saudi investors increased their stake in Nintendo, which has led to concerns among fans. Kakao Entertainment has secured a whopping $966 in funding from sovereign wealth funds, including Saudi Arabia's PIF. With this injection of capital, Kakao is positioned to become a global leader in streaming services, offering unique user experiences with innovative features such as VR support and personalized recommendations. Elon Musk's $44 billion takeover of Twitter has sparked questions about the role of Saudi Arabia's Prince Ali bin Talal, the second largest investor in the now private social media company. Bin Talal's Kingdom Holding Company agreed to roll over its existing $1.89 billion stake in the platform, making it the second largest shareholder behind only Musk. The Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund is now entangled in the ongoing legal battle between Musk and investors over tweets shared about Tesla. Jurors will have to decide whether Musk knowingly misled investors and whether damages are owed. To help his case, Musk's legal team is seeking testimony from PIF head Yasser Al-Rumayyan and other PIF members. However, PIF is filed to block the request, claiming that the San Francisco court cannot force Saudi representatives to appear. The implications of Saudi Arabia's involvement in the Twitter takeover and its ties to the Tesla legal battle raise questions about the national security implications. As the world's leading tech companies increasingly become intertwined with governments and their investments, it is essential to understand the potential implications of such relationships. It is imperative to assess the potential risks, not just to the companies in question, but also to the wider economic and social stability of the global markets. LIV Golf is a new golf tour and Saudi investment vehicle has also been surrounded by controversy. One of the biggest controversies surrounding the tour is its connection to Donald Trump and the staging of tournaments at his golf courses. Trump has publicly urged PGA Tour players to switch to LIV Golf, but the tour is currently facing issues with an incomplete schedule just weeks ahead of its start, failure to attract corporate sponsors, and no new star player signed. Some of the most vocal critics have been victims of 9/11. Furthermore, LIV Golf's legal battle with authorities over the absence of ranking points at events has raised concerns about the tour's legitimacy and its ability to attract top-level players. This lack of ranking points also means that some players could be in danger of missing major championships, which could further hurt the tour's reputation. The antitrust lawsuit filed by LIV Golf against the PGA Tour also brought to light some troubling information about the Saudi fund and its governor, Yasser Al Rumayyan, that they are frantically trying to evade. This has raised questions about the tour's financial stability and the potential for conflicts of interest. LIV Golf struggles to secure a UK rights deal with pay TV networks like Sky Sports and BT Sport, further highlights the tour's challenges in gaining a foothold in the highly competitive golf landscape. Additionally, the fact that DAZN did not pay a fee to carry LIV Golf events on its platform suggests a lack of interest from major media outlets to broadcast the tour. On the other hand, the multi-year agreement with the CW network is a positive development for LIV Golf, as it allows the tour to reach a wider audience and establish a foothold in the American market. However, with the ongoing legal battles, recruitment issues, and lack of agreements for 2023 with pay TV networks, LIV Golf's future remains uncertain. It's important for the tour to address these challenges and build a sustainable business model to ensure its long-term success. The investments made by Saudi Arabia have been met with criticism due to the kingdom's human rights record. Recently, there have been calls for sanctions to be imposed on the country due to its treatment of minorities and other human rights abuses. In 2017, the kingdom was accused of corruption and money laundering, and several high-ranking officials were arrested. In an effort to secure their freedom, the officials agreed to swap assets with the government, which highlighted the potential impact of sanctions on the kingdom's investments. Despite the calls for sanctions, the kingdom has been reclaiming its place in the West. In 2022, the kingdom had a triumphant return as it was welcomed back into the international fold. This shows the influence that the kingdom has on the world stage and the potential impact of sanctions on its investments. The potential sanctions could also have a significant impact on U.S. businesses. U.S. companies have been doing business with the kingdom for years, and any potential sanctions could have far-reaching impacts. We have seen that the kingdom has been making investments all over the world, and that the potential sanctions could have far-reaching impacts on U.S. businesses. Saudi Arabia is a powerful nation, and its investments have been far-reaching. From sports teams to tech companies, the country has been making investments into properties around the world. While some of these investments have been met with criticism due to the kingdom's human rights record, it is clear that Saudi investments have the potential to have a significant impact on the global economy. Saudi Arabia's investments have also had political implications. In 2019, 2 former Twitter employees and a Saudi national were charged with acting as illegal agents of the kingdom. The case highlighted the kingdom's efforts to influence public opinion and the power of its investments. In 2021, a former Twitter employee was found guilty of acting as an agent of a foreign government and unlawfully sharing data with the kingdom. The case showed the potential for the kingdom to use its investments to gain access to sensitive data. Nationals were recently charged with smuggling firearms parts into the United States from Saudi Arabia. This indicates that the country is willing to use its financial power to obtain weapons, potentially for use in activities that conflict with human rights. This has raised concerns about the security implications of Saudi investments in the U.S. The kingdom has also been making investments in Major League Baseball. In 2023, the New York Mets, the New York Yankees, and the Boston Red Sox were purchased by Saudi investors. The country has also been accused of using its financial power to influence the MLB offseason. While these purchases may seem innocuous on the surface, it is clear that the country is attempting to use its financial power to influence the baseball industry. The purchases raise concerns about the political implications of Saudi investments in the U.S. and the potential for the kingdom to use its investments to influence U.S. policy. The WWE has had a long and complicated relationship with Saudi Arabia. This began as early as 2018 when the WWE hosted the the first ever WWE show in Saudi Arabia. Since then, the WWE has hosted several events in the country, including the Greatest Royal Rumble, Crown Jewel, and the Super Showdown. These events have been highly lucrative for the WWE and have helped them to expand their reach. Despite this, the WWE has faced criticism for their relationship with Saudi Arabia due to its human rights record and its treatment of women. While the WWE has been accused of ignoring these issues for the sake of profit, the organization has made significant efforts to ensure that their events are conducted in accordance with their values. WWE stock recently dropped as rumors of a sale to a Saudi investment fund were denied. Despite the speculation, WWE made it clear that they are not looking to sell and remain focused on their long-term strategy for growth. Analysts have also opined that any potential deal would be complicated due to the complexities of the publicly traded company and the fact that many minority shareholders own less than 5% of total shares. As such, investors should take note that although these rumors exist, there is no concrete evidence suggesting a sale is likely in the near future. In an effort to diversify their economies, Middle Eastern countries have established a number of wealth funds, which now have more money than the entire GDP of the United Kingdom. These wealth funds are primarily used to invest in international markets, allowing these countries to increase their exposure to global economic opportunities and risks. Many of these wealth funds are managed by government-backed entities, such as the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority and the Qatar Investment Authority. These entities are responsible for managing the funds and investing them in a variety of international markets, such as stocks, bonds, and real estate. These wealth funds are becoming increasingly important to the global economy as they are used to finance projects around the world. For example, the Qatar Investment Authority recently provided funding for a large infrastructure project in Europe, while the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority was behind a major investment in the United States. The increasing size of these wealth funds and their investments in international markets have also had a significant impact on the global financial system. For example, these funds have been used to prop up failing banks, provide liquidity to the markets, and provide capital for new businesses. As the size of these wealth funds continues to grow, they will become even more important players in the global economy. They are likely to have a significant impact on the future of international markets and the financial system as a whole. Overall, it is clear that Saudi Arabia is willing to use its financial power to influence politics both in the US and abroad. It is important to remain aware of the country's attempts to use its financial power and to speak out against any activities that conflict with human rights. In conclusion, Saudi Arabia's investments have the potential to have a significant impact both financially, culturally, and politically. Ultimately, it is important to remain aware of the country's activities and to ensure that these investments do not lead to any human rights abuses. Continuing on from our previous discussion of the potential human rights impacts of Saudi Arabia's investments, it is also important to consider the financial impacts of these investments. Finally, Saudi Arabia has recently taken out a loan from international banks, indicating that the country is looking to increase its spending. This could potentially lead to increased investments in foreign companies, giving the country more influence in the global economy. Overall, it is clear that Saudi Arabia's investments have the potential to have a significant cultural impact. It is important to be aware of the potential for the country's influence and to ensure that the culture associated with these investments remains open and free. Finally, it is important to consider the potential impacts of sanctions against Saudi Arabia. An example of this is the asset swaps recently implemented by the country, which involved the government offering assets in exchange for freedom after the arrests of prominent activists. This video essay discusses various investments made by the Saudi government, both domestically and internationally. It looks at the controversial public investment fund of Saudi Arabia, which has been responsible for investments in various industries, including sports, music, entertainment, and technology. Overall, this video essay provides an overview of Saudi investments and their potential impacts, both domestically and internationally. It highlights the controversial nature of some of these investments, as well as the potential implications for the US and the globe. If you liked the video, please share it, like it, and subscribe to the channel. I got more videos here. Have a great day.